Hi there, I'm Mistel Godlewski, an American girl who called the cornfields of Illinois home until over 10 years ago when I started navigating the chaos of life overseas. If you've ever felt that itch for something more, that whisper telling you to break free from the ordinary, you're in the right place. This podcast is your backstage pass to the wild ride of moving abroad. I'm here to pull back the curtain on the real journey, sharing stories that are funny, dramatic, and sometimes downright unbelievable. We'll explore the gritty details, from battling culture shock and navigating tricky visa processes to celebrating those small victories that make it all worth it. So whether you're daydreaming about a new life abroad or already in the thick of it, grab your passport and let's explore what it really means to live life beyond borders. Welcome to Abroadly Speaking. Hey there, friend. Welcome to the Abroadly Speaking podcast. My name is Mistel. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. All right, friend, sit down because today we're talking about money, and I swear half of you already mentally logged out. I can hear your brain shutting down from here. I just don't have the money to move abroad. Yeah, I know. That's what everyone tells me, honestly. It's the default script, politely, socially approved excuse we hand out like Halloween candy when anyone asks us why we haven't changed our lives yet. And sure, sometimes it's true. Sometimes the math actually mathing and the numbers are genuinely tight and survival is happening on a week-to-week basis. But do you want to know the real reason why I don't buy the "I can't afford it" excuse the way people mean it? Because most people who say that have absolutely no idea what it costs. They don't know the visa fees. They don't know the cost of an apostille. They don't know how much an apartment deposit in Berlin or Lisbon or Melbourne actually runs. They don't know what grocery costs. They don't know what the healthcare premiums are. They have never once Googled what a one-way ticket costs in the month they say they want to move. But they confidently tell me over and over and over that they can't afford it, which means the problem isn't the money. The problem is the story about the money. And that story, it's doing more damage to your bank account than you think it is. Because once you decide I can't, your brain stops looking for any version of I can. This is how people stay stuck permanently. Not because they don't have resources, but because they don't give a damn to give themselves permission to look at their reality. You know what I'm talking about. That little stomach drop when you think about logging into your bank app, that's avoidance. The tab you close, the receipts you shove in a drawer and never look at, the credit card you swipe and then disassociate immediately like you've just entered the astral plane. I get it. Money feels emotional because money has been survival for you. There has never been any distance between money and identity, money and safety, money and worth, money and I'm doing life right. So of course you avoid it. Of course you panic. Of course you defer decisions. Of course you cling to the fantasy that one day will suddenly feel more prepared, more adult, more regulated. But one day is not real. One day is a trauma response with branding. Here's what's actually happening when you can't say, or when you say, I can't afford to move abroad. You're using money as a security blanket to avoid the truth that you don't trust yourself to handle big decisions. You're afraid of making the wrong move. You're afraid of choosing the wrong country. You're afraid of people judging you if it doesn't work. You're afraid of being the one who wanted more. And you know what? Those fears are real and they're legitimate. They are human fears. They are vulnerable, heart-exposing fears. But instead of dealing with those fears, you outsource it to your bank account because money is practical. Money sounds rational. Money is the responsible reason why you can't move abroad. Fear is messy. Fear requires honesty and looking inward. Fear requires saying out loud, I want a different life than I have right now, and I'm willing to do something about it. And that part, it feels like betrayal. Let's stay there for a second, because this is where people crack open. When you say you want to move abroad, you're admitting the life you built right now is not enough for you. The identity you have been performing is suffocating. The environment you're in is draining the life out of you. The story you were handed is not the story you want to live. That does not make you ungrateful. It makes you aware. But being aware is uncomfortable. So what do we do when something gets uncomfortable? We avoid it. We numb, we rationalize, we self delay, we put in roadblocks to prevent ourselves from doing the thing that we really, really want to do. And the easiest way to delay a dream is to attach a price tag to it that you never actually calculate. All right, we're taking a quick break because apparently I'm supposed to promote my offers or whatever the online business girlies are calling it these days. If you're tired of planning this move alone and convincing yourself you just need one more spreadsheet, it's time to join the Departure Lounge. It's my community for people who are done Googling, done spiraling, and honestly just need someone to tell them what to do before they lose their minds. You get support, answers, and the place to panic productively. We do visas, money, timelines, the real stuff without any of the delusional TikTok nonsense. Come hang out. It's the only corner of the internet where moving abroad is normal and you don't have to pretend you're fine. I'll drop the link in the show notes, or you can DM me Departure on Instagram and we'll get you in. That's the part that gets me frustrated every single time. People will martyr themselves under the weight of an imaginary number. I just need 20 grand. Really? Why? I don't know. It just feels like the right amount. It feels safe, which is how you know it's not real. Money is not a feeling. Money is math. Money is logistics. Money is pacing. Money is phases. You don't need 20 grand tomorrow. You need $250 for a background check, potentially. You need $100 for a notarization. You need $0 to start decluttering your house. You maybe need $50 to start your future me savings account. Maybe you need $3,000 or $5,000 for your first month rent and deposit months from now, but not today. But your brain doesn't do sequencing when it's overwhelmed. Your brain does all or nothing thinking. And all or nothing thinking is how you get stuck in the same place for years while you're telling yourself you're planning. Here's the truth that's going to sting a little. And if you're not in a headspace to hear it, pause right now. Wait until you're in a headspace to hear it. But I need you to hear this in truth. If money were actually the problem, you'd be taking steps to improve it. You would be budgeting. You'd be adjusting your spending. You'd be selling furniture. You'd be job hunting abroad. You would be shifting your life to accommodate the move. But if the problem is fear, you're not doing any of that. You'll just wait. And waiting turns into years so fast that you won't even realize the time passed. So here's the line in the sand. If you're not willing to look at actual numbers, then money is not the thing that's stopping you. The thing that's stopping you is your refusal to look at your real life, because once you see it clearly, you'll have to act. And acting means that you're responsible for the outcome. And that, I know, my friend, is terrifying. But do you know what's even more terrifying? Waking up in the same place a year from now, still saying, I just need to save more first. Still miserable, still exhausted, still shrinking your life to fit the shape of your fear. And you deserve better than that. So here's what you have to do next if you want to actually move abroad in the next 12 months. You stop hiding. You stop vague saving. You stop letting fear drive the budgeting car. You get a real plan. You get real numbers. You get real support so you don't bail on yourself the moment discomfort shows up. Money is not the problem unless money is really the problem. I get it for some of you. Maybe you're living paycheck to the point where you're not able to both pay for groceries and visa fees. And if that's the where you are, I get it. Then money is the problem. But for many of you, money is not the problem. Excuses are the problem. Avoidance is the problem. And avoidance is something we can fix. I love you, friend. I want you to know that money is not the problem unless it truly is the problem. And I know for many of you, that's something that you're just going to hit resistance on. So I want you to sit with this one, because I know I resisted this so many times in my life, because of course money is the problem. Of course I don't make enough money to do this. Of course I need more money. Of course, Miss Dell, you say that already moving abroad, you know you have the money. Money is not always the problem unless it is actually really and truly the problem. So I invite you to look very carefully at what you're calling a problem and see if it's really what it is, that it really truly is the problem, or that you're avoiding the real problem and avoiding looking at what the numbers tell you. Because I promise you, you have somewhere where you can probably save $5 a month or $10 a month or $50 a month. It's all in small increments. You don't have to plan for the big numbers that you need at the end all the way through. You plan for those along the way because you can save up that much in the time that you need. You just don't need it all right now. I love you, friend. I know this one is not my typical how to exercise. I really want to give you this one because I feel like it's important and you need to hear it. Sit with this one. Let it be uncomfortable. It's okay. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for tuning into A Broadly Speaking. If today's episode got you dreaming a little bigger or thinking a little braver, go ahead and hit subscribe, leave a review, or share it with someone who's ready for their own adventure. And hey, don't be a stranger. Come hang out with me over on Instagram at @IamMistel for the real, unfiltered life abroad. Keep that passport handy, and remember, life's too short to stay in one place.